Today, I want to talk about the pit. The pit is where your shadows live. It is where the emotions that you carry, and most likely the trauma, tends to get the better of you. You can intellectually very well know what's happening to you and not necessarily be able to correct the feelings. Our humanity allows us to drown a little bit in the experience of being overwhelmed by feelings, both positive and negative. And even though I have a pretty extensive toolbox of being aware and knowing that it'll shift and knowing that, all of these things bring gifts. And when you are in it, it is hard to handle. I was there yesterday. And in that place, what comes through and what supports me is endurance. Now, endurance is something I think that's very inherent to women in general. I do. I think through eons of, literally carrying their babies and holding down the household and creating the family around the fire. I'm not saying that the men of yesteryear didn't have their place as well, but I'm just thinking of, you know, women feeding their babies with food that they didn't have. That kind of endurance to last through really horrific circumstances and push through to the end. Um, and I am not trying to compare my own emotional dithering to watching your baby not have enough to eat, because it's not like that doesn't happen today. But what I am saying is that that feeling of being overwhelmed and drowning in your feelings is universal. It is universal. It is part of the one story. And it is part of our humanity. And I would say that it's a beautiful part of our humanity, because if you don't allow yourself to drown in your story, at least initially, you're not really getting to the ugly, rawest, barest parts of you. And if you want to heal them, they have to be brought to the light. Now, I think that they're best brought to the light in a container where you've created safety for yourself. And I also feel they're best brought to light in community, trusted community, but community where not only is the healing exponential, because I'm telling you, when one person meditates as opposed to a whole room of people meditating, that multiplicative ability to whatever it is, meditate and send out goodwill and blessings, heal yourself from the outside in, when it is reflected in the mirror of a brother or sister, it is absolutely that much more powerful. The act of being witnessed in your vulnerability in a trusted space is life changing and life altering and amazingly healing. So, what I invite you to today is the 20th is the next virtual meeting of the Vibrational Arc. Now, the Vibrational Arc is not a work group, so it is not a place to bring your trauma and your stories. But what it is a place to be is to show up with all of you present and reach into what you want to contribute. Because there are no passive passengers on the arc. And your presence, your whole presence, both shadow and light, is what you contribute. And this is a place that can hold it all, and all are welcome. I would suggest and invite you to think about the fact that your presence in that space where that container is created and that feeling of blessing and power is so concentrated, you can heal with almost no words. It's a feeling. And if you allow yourself to feel it, it's amazing what can come through. I'll have the link below to register if you want to join us on Zoom, 7:30 on the 20th. And so what I challenge you today to investigate is, where is your conscious community? Where is the place where you bring your soul's work? And if you are fortunate to have one, You're all invited. And that conviction of community is what comes up for me today. And I will see you tomorrow.